to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
School City of Whiting mission: School City of Whiting, in partnership with our community, empowers students to pursue high quality, personalized educational pathways and grow as responsible lifelong learners who respect and value differences. Roll call.
TJ Toth.
Here.
Chris Davenport.
Here.
Patty Burke. Here. Tom Burris.
Here.
Rena Mendez. Here.
Audience comments, agenda items. There's nothing on the sheet, so we'll move on. Presentations. Whiting High School Science Olympiad. I'd like to call Mr. Gorsuch up.
All right. Everybody, get us opened up here. All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Dave Gorsuch. I'm the principal at Whiting Middle High School. This evening, we have the privilege of recognizing one of the many outstanding programs that makes Whiting so special, and that's our Science Olympiad team. This group of students has once again demonstrated incredible dedication, curiosity, academic excellence, and has represented our school with pride this year. Keep in mind, behind every successful program is a passionate and committed educator. And we're fortunate to have one of the very best leading the team. Mr. Long, if you want to go ahead and come on up, is not only a science teacher here at Whiting, but also an instructional leader and one of the true pillars of our school. Want everybody to know this year marks his 30th year in Whiting. And remarkably, his 28th year with Science Olympiad. That level of commitment and consistency is something truly special, and I think it speaks volumes about his dedication to our students and our community. Through his leadership, our Science Olympiad program's grown into a source of pride for the school. Everybody knows Whiting Science Olympiad, and it provides opportunities to our students, challenges them to collaborate and achieve at a high level. This time it's my honor to invite Mr. Long up here and talk about this year's accomplishments. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Long.
I would also like to call up Hector Cosleone, my assistant coach. And Hunter's also been helping out with the team quite a bit, and none of this can happen unless we have lots of people that are here to help make it successful. So these guys are invaluable to everything that we're doing here. This is only about half the team. We've got 26, I think, on the team this year, which again is really pretty incredible for a school of our size. I mean, there's so many schools out there that are struggling to get one team together. They've got 2,000 students at their school. So I'm always greatly happy to see students that are wanting to come out, dedicate time. They spend basically from the beginning of September all the way through March working almost daily on things for this team, which is great to see. So this year we competed at, I think it was 5 invitationals, including the last one here at Whiting, and then we did all over the place, a couple of different states and whatnot that we've been to. They, at the regional level this year at IUN, they placed second overall in our regional, and then at the state level was 10th overall. Top 10 at state against, again, no classes, right? This is Carmel and Munster and everybody else and us. It's just fantastic to see these guys in their hard work. We do have just a few events. Again, there's 23 events in Science Olympiad. A lot of them are study events. They're taking tests. They're working kind of behind the scenes. Nobody really gets to see a lot of that. And then there are some of the events which we call build events, where they're building a device of some kind and showing it off when they're there. So we have a few of those. Do you guys care what order we go in? Does anybody want to volunteer to go first or anything like that? Yes, okay.
There we go.
So, you guys just give them just a quick TLDR about this whole thing. What are we looking at? How does it work?
So this is our hovercraft. Basically how it works, you have a track a certain distance and then you gotta they give you a certain amount of time to get to the end, and whoever's closest to that time scores higher and lower.
And how does this work generally? What's the basics?
At the bottom, there's a bag taped to the platform, and this fan is pushing air into there, and there's little holes on the bottom, so it kind of floats a little bit. And this one in the back pushes it along. And then you can adjust the power to this one with this knob.
And you guys at the beginning of the year, you took all these parts, put it all together, and then you've been calibrating it and figuring out what differences it needs throughout the year. And there's a couple of different batteries that they've got to put into it to get both of those fans working. James, out of all the competitions we went to, I think you were first place in most of them, right? With this one? James and Lewis here did a great job with this. Just going to give you just a quick preview of it being able to hover and work its way.
Feel bad. Do we want to go on that side and then you stand on the other side of the table so the people behind you can see? Oh, that's a good idea. Right there. Why don't you guys come on the other side of the table and we'll come over here. So everybody can see. No.
So right now it's hovering, it's got the air going, and then it'll push itself. I'll have it balance very well. And then you can adjust the speed with that top knob right. One of the biggest things with this event is balancing it. So with these batteries, they weigh the most on this thing. So depending on where you put them, the track's not very big. Maybe a little bigger than the hovercrafts. So depending on where you put them, it could go against the wall and end up going slower. So balancing it is the hardest part.
Excellent. Again, we've got two teams that compete at varsity and the JV. And for much of the year, this was the JV team running, and they had a really great time. So they were really good and are going to be part of our varsity team, I'm sure, next year. Robot? Let's robot it up. Okay.
Robot Tour.
Joaquin and Azul, why don't you introduce yourselves and then what this is all about?
All right. Well, oh my goodness. I'm Joaquin Sanchez, and
I'm Abdul Costa.
yeah, and this is this is Robot Tour. The premise of Robot Tour is to design a robot to navigate through a maze and get into the end zone in the shortest amount of time. Now, this year, they introduced a new challenge where you have to push water bottles into the gate zones. Now, this robot doesn't have the little popsicle stick hands. Oh my goodness. They don't have the popsicle stick hands because, well, I mean, event's done, but the premise is we have these popsicle sticks so we could get the water bottle inside and we could maneuver it around with the robot to put it in the gate zone. So, right here we have the robot. It's a small, compact form factor, so it's so that we stay within the gate zone because we get penalties if we hit obstacles, and that's honestly one of the biggest challenges with robot. It's making sure the measurements for the motors down here know to go only a certain distance and still not hit the barrier. So we'll give you a little demonstration here on how it moves. If it ever wants to work. This is the fun part about robots.
This is the fun part of the robot, and you can kind of tell why when you look at the little nest on the back of the wires. Sometimes something's not quite
There we
working
go.
right.
There we go. Now it's moving.
Now, Joaquin, how would you get it to program to do what it needs to do?
The way that I'm able to program it, catch it in case it falls, catch it, and then put it back. The way that we program it is we have our entire program on this little USB stick here, and we have different things like move forward, turn left, turn right, or something that I introduced this year, go backwards. And what we do is keep calling it like go forward 2 squares or turn left 90 degrees. So if the maze at the end is 6 squares, I could tell the robot with the code in the USB, go forward 6 spaces, and it will go forward 6 squares. And that's how it is. It's pretty simple.
One of the original ideas behind coming up with this nationally is one of the guys that works for Amazon in those giant warehouses where they have to basically have robots go down those aisles to grab things. They wanted people to start getting good at that idea of being able to program a robot to be able to do tasks of going down, turning, all that kind of. So it's been great to see that, and again, Joaquin's been really top notch at being able to run a robot, which is wonderful to see. And then we have one more helicopter.
Just like that. Start on this.
Yeah, if you want to introduce yourselves and kind of give them a little rundown of what you're going to do here.
Alright, so my name is Natalie Holland, and this is my partner Ben. We were the varsity team this year for a helicopter, which was an event that was introduced last year. And so let me get my pieces out to show you guys. So this is a build event that they always have, but they switch it around into different forms. So my first year in Scienzo, it was something called Flight, where you build a plane. And last year, it was reintroduced as helicopter. So what we do, at the start of every season, Mr. Long will get a kit for us, which is usually the kit that a majority of the schools will use in the middle school and the high school. And so we have to very carefully build the kit because all of these pieces are very delicate. So like these pieces here in the middle aren't the original pieces that came in the kit. We had to use thicker pieces because they kept breaking. So like they always ask us, like what's the hardest part of building it, like how you built it and things like that. So we always said the hardest part was these because they were so fragile, and then putting the Mylar on, which is it's the covering on our wings, because that's also very delicate and you have to crush it up and then bring it back out, and it rips so easily. And if it rips, you have to start over because you can't fly it if it rips. You know, what Ben's working on is setting up our motor. So what we do is we have motors that are made out of rubber bullets. And we use our winder and we wind them all up, and that is how our helicopter flies. So just give us 1 second and we're gonna wind them up.
Natalie, what's the ultimate goal? How do you win?
Oh, sorry. So when you check in, you get 10 minutes, and in the 10 minutes you get 2 official flights and then as many trials as you would like. So the goal is to keep your helicopter in the air longer than all the other teams. We did really good this year. The start of the year, it was a little rough because this isn't something that we're used to building, especially since every year it's a new model. So you get used to the kit from last year and you master that. You come back and you have a completely new thing you need to master. So the goal is just to keep it in the air as long as possible. We did really good, usually placed within top 10. Regionals, we placed second. So we're gonna go ahead.
many years have you been doing the flying events?
3 years. So it's like,
Yeah, you and Ben have definitely been mastering this craft of flying.
so what I'm doing is I'm taking our rubber band and I stretch it out. And this is our torque meter, and that kind of helps us measure how many lines that we have on the helicopter, which is useful depending on your rubber band size. Because we learned that a lot of people told us longer rubber bands and more lines, and we actually learned that you do need longer rubber bands, and you actually need less lines than what they're saying, because then the helicopter, which we had happen to us at Crown Point, if there's too many lines, the helicopter will shoot up really fast and it will fall apart, because I already did that at Crown Point and it split into like 5 pieces.
I mean, what version helicopter is this from this year? How many helicopters did you build?
Oh, I think they're.
4.
You had 3 or 4, right, at least?
4.
Yeah.
Probably. We have to do 2 or 3 of those.
Oh. Yeah. How many rubber bands have you gone through this year? That's the real question.
Definitely 100, not more. Rubber
right.
bands break so easily. We
Oh,
usually
yeah.
have at least one snap on us every time we try it, so don't be surprised if you hear a snap. It kind of turned into a good luck charm. If it didn't snap, it didn't work.
This is not much different than competition. A lot of people standing around watching them, waiting for them to fly. They got the nerve part down, so.
Yeah, there we go.
Helicopter's so delicate, they gotta be so careful. That rubber band snaps on that helicopter, the helicopter goes to pieces.
So this is kind of what our official flights look like. So we have to give them a big 3, 2, 1 countdown.
Just make sure that.
Don't hit
And you
the
also,
Don't do that.
you also have to find a really good spot in the ceiling, because a lot of the ceilings at these schools, they would have curves in them, and if your helicopter gets stuck, if it cannot get itself back down all the time that it was up there, it doesn't count, and then you wasted that 10 minutes. Usually it'll stay up there a little longer, so that's.
Yeah, they didn't have it quite too. What was your high this year?
Our
Time?
highest was 1 minute and 31 seconds.
Yeah, so a minute and a half, where it would just kind of sit there on the ceiling and go and go and go, so I got pretty good. All right, very good. And again, there was a lot of other events that we couldn't necessarily show you with the people that we had available today, but a lot of different events and a lot of different work that went into all of this, so.
Awesome.
So, of recognition for students on the team. When you hear your name, come on up. All right, Anna Acosta. Azul Acosta. Lucky Almanza. Alondra Alvarez could not make it today. Alejandro Alvarez could not make it. Neither could Andrea Cabrales. Zaya Colazo. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people that are involved in a lot of other things. Melvin Galindo. Isabella Garcia. Natalie Holland. James Holmes. Faustino Hurtado. Kaylee Kidd couldn't be here today. Fatima Lopez. Finn Monroe. Maite Navarro could not be here. Camila Ortiz, Victoria Palayo, E.C. Pozo, Ben Player. Anna Rodriguez, Joaquin Sanchez. Aaron couldn't be here, and Leia could not be here, and Luis Villagomez. And Ariane Villanueva. I'll just take the rest of these.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, appreciate that.
Just wanted to thank you, Mr. Long, and your assistant coaches for everything you do. You know, there's a reason why our kids find the high level of success. It's for the people behind the scenes, your dedication, your commitment, your love that you show our students. So thank you guys so much.
It's also easier when you have really good and dedicated students, I'll say that for sure.
Thank you, students, for coming. I don't think you guys want to stick around for the other stuff, so we're going to take a few minutes so you guys can go ahead and leave. Thank you guys for coming. There's some cookies and water out there for you guys. Make sure you grab some on the way out, okay? Hey, wait a minute, real quick. I want to get a picture with the board.
Oh, good idea. Let's do it, yeah. We'll do a big picture.
Just stand this way, face the audience. And then we'll have the board members come behind you guys. We can move this table. You want to pick that side? We'll move it along that wall over there.
Nope.
Thank you so much. So you guys can stay here, face that way. Face Mr. Horsens. Come on in, come on in.
We've done this a million times now. Like today, right, exactly. We just did this earlier today. Get in there. Get in there.
Go right here.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Awesome.
All right, thank you guys for coming.
Ben willing to take stuff back.
Someone here is my trouble.
The administration report, superintendent's report.
Yeah, just have a few announcements here. First, I just want to congratulate Vice President Davenport and President Toth. They were acknowledged by the Indiana School Board Association for their leadership. So congratulations to you guys. Summer school information will be coming out soon. We have elementary for the I-read assessment that's mandatory by the state. And then Mr. Gorsuch, you want to talk a little bit about what you guys are planning for summer school?
Yeah. So we I don't think there's been middle school, summer school in a few years. That's coming back for this year. And we will offer like a math and an ELA lab at the middle school level, as well as the computer foundations and digital apps for 8th graders who did not do well enough in it, and the career exploration class. And then at the high school level, we have like 4 core classes that were a little heavier on the failure rates that we're going to, and that's if I can get it staffed in person. We're going to offer it in a traditional setting with a licensed teacher teaching it traditionally. We think that'll be best for the kids. And then on the back end, will be mostly credit recovery for the one-offs, for credits that we have to offer.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
It's exciting we got it back from middle school, so thank you.
Heck yeah.
Good. Early college signing day, it's April 29th at the gym. It's at 5:30 p.m. start time. Again, this is the very first class that's going to be accepted into Whiting University. We're very excited about that. All the students have received their acceptance letters, and all of them were invited to the April 29th event. All-day pre-K, we're starting that back up for the 26-27 school year here at Whiting. We have about 22 families sign up already at the April 2nd event. We have one more registration event on May 15th at the YMCA from 8:30 to 11:30, and then again at 12:30 to 3 p.m. We held it so the program's going to be here in Whiting, but we had the registration event at the YMCA. So if parents needed before school or after school care, they were able to get answers to those questions there. So we want to thank YMCA for being a great partner there. End of the year celebrations, we got the top 10 luncheon, May 17th at 1 p.m. We have elementary field day, May 22nd all day at the high school athletic field. 8th grade graduation or promotional ceremony will be May 29th at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. And then we have our high school graduation on May 31st at 2 p.m. in the Memorial Gymnasium. I'd also like to thank the Optimist Club for their recent donation of $3,000 to the athletic department. Very awesome of that, very generous of them, so we'd like to thank them. Congratulations to Mr. Z and the Whiting Theater members on a great show. The Brunch Club, it was a great performance. It was awesome to see them back in that auditorium and on stage again, so they did a really great job. Golf outing June 5th. If you're interested in being a sponsor or golfing, please contact the athletic department. Right now we have about 50 sponsors, which is great news. And we have a little over 50 golfers, so it's heading in the right direction. So excited about that. And last but not least, I want to thank all of our teachers. Next week is Teacher Appreciation Week, May 4th to May 8th. I want to thank them for everything they do here for our students, their dedication and commitment. We have a lot of great teachers. We're very fortunate here at Whiting. So I just want to make sure they're recognized and appreciated. We have something set up every day next week to honor them and to show them our love. So. And appreciation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Financial reports?
All right, so tonight's financial report covers March 2026. Total cash fund balances at the end of March are $11,447,834.37. Of that, the education fund held $3,140,135.14, and the operations fund held $1,226,121.91, and the rainy day fund still holds that $3.9 million. In terms of spending, since we're doing our budget on the calendar year and we're looking at March, we're looking at first quarter year to date, which is kind of a good benchmark to see how are we spending so far. And Good news is that we are not only within budget so far, but if you account for certain one-time expenditures that we incurred, we're actually trending below, which is important, especially in the operations fund, since we are projecting less revenue due to a higher circuit breaker loss this year. And so you'll see in the operations fund, we have our percentage unencumbered is looking pretty good for that first quarter. And on that note, we've been keeping our eye out for the DLGF circuit breaker report, so we can have some more certainty on what the circuit breaker losses for this year. It's still not been released as of this afternoon, but the
You want to say what the?
yeah, the current projection that we're expecting is 290,000, about less revenue compared to last year coming into operations fund. So we've known about that for a while, and that's kind of shaped our spending plan. And based on how the first quarter has gone, I think we're seeing some results, but it's out of necessity. So some good news there. Other items on the agenda, we have Luke and Josh here to go over the second preliminary determination hearing. There's a couple other items, cancellation of checks and rolling over open POs, just really routine finance items, but let us know if you have any questions on that stuff. Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Move on to consent agendas. Approval of school citywide board minutes, regular meeting minutes of March 16th, 2026, special meeting minutes of April 20th, 2026. Approval of the claims for the month of April for $1,214,516.74. Motion.
Second.
Slow down.
Next page. Approval to accept donations, $500 donation from Whiting Middle School Student Council to Nathan Hale, PBIS. Donation of book totaling approximately $2,861.18 from the Whiting Elks to the Whiting Middle High School Library. $3 donation from Clayton Hale to the band. $100 donation from Paul and Colleen Anderson to the athletic department. $100 donation from the First Catholic Slovak Ladies Association to the band. $100 donation from Mayor Speedlars to the golf team. Approval to accept personnel report. Motion to approve all consent agenda items as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Rita, second by Tom. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So move on to new business. Library board member nomination. I'd like to bring Katie Farmer up.
If Mr. Morales will do the oath.
Mr. Morales will do the oath.
Hi, Tina.
Hi.
You can repeat after me.
Sure.
I, the undersigned,
I,
do hereby solemnly swear or affirm.
do hereby solemnly swear or affirm.
Oh, I apologize. Can you raise your right hand? I'm sorry. I, the undersigned,
I, the undersigned,
do hereby solemnly swear or affirm
do hereby solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and to the best of my ability,
and the best of my ability,
will faithfully, impartially, and diligently discharge the duties. Break that up. Will faithfully,
will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and diligently
and diligently
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
and accept the responsibilities
and accept the responsibilities
of a member of the library board of the Whiting Public Library.
of a member of the Whiting
The library board
Board
of
Public
the Whiting Public
Library.
And that I will observe
And I will observe
and obey all the laws
and obey all the laws
relating to said office
relating to said office
now in force
now in force,
or which may hereafter
or which may hereafter
be enacted during my term of service.
be enacted during the term of service.
Congratulations. Nomination of library board, Katie Farmer, for the motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Patty, second by Chris. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Modification of superintendent's contract, approval of the proposed modification to the superintendent's contract from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Rita, second by Patty. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading adoption of the OLED policies. Second reading adoption of the OLED policy updates. PO 2221, mandatory curriculum revised. PO 2410, audio, video, and digital recording of meeting revised. PO 2414, reproductive health and family planning and human sexuality instruction revised. PO 2416, student privacy and parental access to information revised. PO 2461, recording of IEP team meetings, case conferences revised. PO 2623, student assessment revised. PO 3220.02, supplemental payments for teachers revised. PO 5200, attendance revised. PO 5223, release time for religious instructions revised. PO 5517, anti-harassment revised. PO 5517.01, bullying revised. PO 5600, student discipline revised. PO 5605, suspension and expulsion of students with disabilities revised. PO 5611, due process rights technical corrections revised. PO 5771, search and seizure revised. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Patty. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So now we'll go through the project hearing and secondary preliminary determination hearing. The next item on the agenda is for the board to hold a public and preliminary hearing on a proposed project. If you are interested in speaking at this hearing, please make sure you have signed the sheet at the back of the room, which would include your name and address. After a presentation by the administration and advisors, there will be an opportunity for the public to make comments about the project. At the hearing, we will ask that each person limit their comments to 3 minutes, that the topic be limited to the proposed project under consideration. The notice of this preliminary determination hearing was published as legally required. The first preliminary determination hearing was held on April 20th, 2026. At this time, I will ask Mr. Winters to explain the purpose of this hearing.
Good evening, members of the board and administration. My name is Josh Winters. I work with Kristen McClellan and Ice Miller, and we serve as the school corporation's bond counsel. We're conducting a hearing tonight because under Indiana code, before a school corporation can construct, repair, or alter a school building for a total cost that exceeds $1 million, the net cost is going to be funded by issuing bonds or entering into a lease agreement. The school corporation must first hold a public hearing at which explanations of the potential value of the proposed project to the community and the school corporation is given, and the public is given the opportunity to provide testimony and ask questions. Likewise, we're also holding the preliminary determination hearing tonight, the second preliminary determination hearing tonight. I think you guys held the first one last week. To satisfy the requirement under Indiana code before a school corporation adopts a resolution, making a preliminary determination to fund a project with a total cost in excess of certain thresholds, or if the school corporation's debt service fund tax rate exceeds a certain amount. The school board must first hold a public hearing at which the public is given the opportunity to provide testimony regarding the proposed preliminary determination. Like I said, the first preliminary determination hearing was held last week, I believe. Is that right? So this is the second one that the school corporation is holding. Just as a reminder, this hearing and the consideration of the resolutions tonight is the very beginning of the legal process for the project and the proposed financing. And the resolutions tonight will set forth the maximum financial parameters of the project and the proposed financing, but do not obligate the school or the school corporation to fund or complete the project. Any questions on the purpose of the hearing?
Thank you.
We will now hear from the superintendent about the process of determining and communicating the project to the community and the need for the project. Superintendent Brewer.
Thank you, President. Last week, April 20th, I gave a presentation on what we were looking to do. Kind of just a shortened narrative of that is it's everything inside the walls. It's the non-fun stuff. We have mechanical issues, we have HVAC issues, we have electrical issues, plumbing issues. A lot of our buildings are over 100 years old. A lot of these things should have been upgraded once for sure, probably going into 2 times now already. Whiting has done a great job maintaining these things, but unfortunately, every day that goes by, it gets harder and harder to manage them. A lot of people that know how to work on these systems are retiring. A lot of the parts that we need to replace things when things break are not being made anymore. And again, those people that are retiring, they know how to fabricate these pieces. Obviously, once they start retiring, we won't be able to do so. Last year alone, we spent a little over $100,000 just maintaining our systems for HVAC. And that was just last year. It's been around $100,000 the last probably 2 or 3 years. So at some point, just as a homeowner would, you have to figure out when am I just going to replace this and stop kind of burning that extra money. And the truth is, obviously, if this would have got done, 10, 15, 20 years ago, it would have been a lot cheaper. And if we wait 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, it's going to be a lot more expensive. So now we really needed to kind of put a plan together. We worked with Fanning Howie to kind of identify these things, and we put a plan together to replace these items. And that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Thank you, Superintendent Brewer. We will now hear from Stifel, Nicholas and Company Incorporated, our underwriter,
Yep.
about how the project will be financed, as well as information about the reflection of a typical property tax.
Thank you, Luke.
All right, good evening, Luke Brookman with Steve Logan, we serve as bond underwriter for the school corporation. We walked through the presentation pretty in depth last night, last week, I'll quickly summarize. So the total borrowing would be for $24,360,000. Based on the construction timing, we likely break that into 2 phases. It would increase the debt service levy and rate, but because the majority of your homeowners and your median taxpayer is at their tax cap, they will not pay any more due to this project. I think that's the important takeaway there. So I'll keep it short and sweet tonight. Any questions?
And just because we're running through this process doesn't mean we have to pull the money out. Correct?
Yep. This is just the first step to authorize the maximum amounts. We can always come down from that.
And then we are being mindful, based on what he just said about the 90% already at your tax cap. In the state of Indiana, you have to pay your debt first. So they take that money out of our operations for us to be able to pay the debt. So we actually lose money, just like Mr. Sender was talking about the $290,000 circuit breaker that we're going to experience now was for some of the projects with the roofing, the auditorium. So they're taking that money for us to be able to pay back that debt out of our operations. So we do have to be mindful of that.
We will now open the public hearing. There's nobody signed up on the sheet.
Yeah, just go down to the project resolution. So bond counsel will come up, Josh will come back up, explain the bond, the project resolution.
Bond counsel, could you please summarize the project's resolution?
Yeah, the project resolution is the first resolution that the board is considering tonight. Satisfies the requirement under Indiana code that Forest School Corporation can finance a project with a total cost in excess of $1 million. The school board must first adopt a resolution which specifies the educational value of the proposed project or the building, the estimated total construction costs of the project, the estimated tax rate impact, and then the proposed funds to be used to fund the project. So, any questions on the project resolution?
Thank you, Jim.
Can I have a motion and a second to adopt the project resolution?
Second.
Motion by Tom, second by Chris. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Bond council, will you please summarize the preliminary determination resolution?
Yeah, the preliminary determination resolution satisfies the requirement under Indiana code that before the school corporation can begin construction on a project with a total cost in excess of a certain amount, or the school corporation has a debt service tax rate that exceeds a certain amount, the school board must first adopt this preliminary determination resolution to enter into the lease for issue bonds to fund the project. So this resolution, you'll notice, has a lot of the financial terms that Luke talked about last week. These are the maximum financial terms, so it sets forth the maximum borrowing amount, maximum interest rate, maximum term of the lease or the bonds, that sort of thing. So I think like Luke iterated earlier, this is setting forth the maximums, not an obligation to finance this much or to finish the project or to start the project. Just allowing you or setting forth the maximums for those items.
Thank you.
Any questions on the preliminary determination resolution?
I have a motion and a second to adopt the preliminary determination resolution.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Rena, second by Tom. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Bond council, could you please summarize the reimbursement resolution?
The reimbursement resolution satisfies a requirement under federal law that in order for the school corporation to be able to reimburse itself from bond proceeds for any project costs that you might incur before you actually receive bond proceeds, you must first officially declare your intent to reimburse yourself with those bond proceeds. So for example, if the school corporation had to place an order for certain equipment or items or enter into a contract before we actually closed on any bonds, if and when we do close on bonds and the school corporation receives the bond proceeds, then the school corporation would be able to reimburse itself out of operations, reimburse the operations fund or whatever other fund they use to pay for those items. Does that make sense? Any questions on the reimbursement resolution?
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to adopt the reimbursement resolution.
Motion.
Second. I'll second.
Motion by Patty, second by Chris. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Move on to number 9, all-day pre-K program, approval of the pre-K program. Have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Patty. Any comments, questions, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of proposal from the Whining YMCA for pre-K before and after care.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Patty, second by Rena. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the cancellation of the following outstanding checks.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Rena, second by Tom. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Opposed? Approval to carry forward the 2025 open purchase orders in the amount of $86,796.58.
Second.
Motion by Tom, second by Chris. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Opposed? Approval of quote from Tri-Electronics for installation of a sound system at the softball field for $15,375.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Rena, second by Chris. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Opposed?
And just real quick on that one, just want to thank Calumet College again. The money that they sent us over from their Lilly grant for our sound system they allowed us to use this for the sound systems at the field. So just want to thank them for their partnership.
Approval of frontline Amplitrack agreement from June 23, 2026 to June 22nd, 2027.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Tom, second by Patty. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approval agreements with Powers Health.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Rena, second by Patty. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
You want to talk about it?
What's that?
The power health
Oh,
agreement?
sure, yeah.
Just real quick so everybody can hear about it.
So this will likely start to become a more often occurrence with approving our partnerships with our different work-based learning partners. Is the state has changed a law regarding that. But what you have here is an agreement with Powers Health. Will be, I believe, the second school that Community Hospital has agreed to partner with, Munster High being somebody that's worked with them for a while. But Ms. Chrissy Bernardi set up that partnership with them. And that'll be one of those opportunities that's available to our students. You know, so far we have with like Tech Federal Credit Union, the fire department, police department, and then a ton of other different community organizations. But what we do for Powers Health is kind of something they require right now. But that agreement with them, we're going to have to start doing a board-approved agreement in the near future for everybody that we partner with and send kids to.
Thank you, Mr. Gorsuch.
Yep. Thanks.
Next, approval of network solution quote for E-rate internet installation equipment for $130,838.58.
Motion.
Motion by Chris, second by Tom. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
Yeah. Josh, you want to take a minute?
Yep.
It's like Director Josh could take just a second to explain this.
So E-rate is a federal program that supports schools and libraries with their networking needs, basic internet service, equipment, licensing. We went through a rigorous RFP proposal per federal rules, looked at a number of different proposals to find the most reliable and cost-worthy vendor for our solution. And it's important to know that this is a 5-year cycle. So every 5 years, E-rate is going to renew, and we would be looking again to, take advantage of those funds. Whiting is reimbursed at 80%. So this really is, I know it's a strong number to hit off the top, but we should expect 80% reimbursement. We chose to go bare, which is that we are funding the money and getting reimbursed precisely because we just have some needs that we wanted to jump right on.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approval to change the date of the May regular board meeting from May 25th, 2026 to Tuesday, May 26th, 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Rena, second by Chris. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approval of proposal for Midwest Electric to put up 2 wire harnesses at the softball field for $3,885.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tom, second by Rena. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Opposed? Approval to offer a summer nutrition program at Whiting High School cafeteria beginning Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026, and ending Thursday, July 30th, 2026. Lunch would be served Monday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Closed on Fridays. We would also be serving the Whiting YMCA the same days.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tom, second by Patty. Any comments, questions, concerns? All in favor? Approval of the summer band schedule for Nathan Hale Middle School and High School. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Patty. Any comments, questions, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of quote from Lee Company for new furniture for Nathan Hale cafeteria for $115,044.41.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Rena, second by Chris. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
Yeah, just to let the board know, this was the lowest quote that we received from companies, so we're happy to go with Lee Company. This is going to be a total upgrade to the cafeterias for both Nathan Hale and for the middle school, facelift in there. Very excited about that. This is money that was left over from the construction project that we came under budget. And we were able to use it for some upgrades. I wanted to use this something that all students would be able to enjoy. So that's why we picked the cafeteria area.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approval of quote from Lee Company to put a new resource desk at the high school for $9,754.51.
Motion.
Motion by Patty, second by Chris. Any comments, questions, concerns?
Yeah, this is, Mr. Borsitz and I, we talked, this is about our SRO, kind of putting them out in the hallway area outside the main office to be more visible. And he'll also be the first point of contact for people coming into the building on the high school side. So we thought it would be a good investment to put this out there for him, so he can still operate, have his computer, have a workspace station. It's a little more expensive because it's gonna have a little bit of, it's well done, right? We didn't get a cheap desk, we got something that's gonna kind of, with our
It's custom furniture.
custom, yeah,
Has the
custom
logo on it
furniture.
all.
It's got our logo on it. We wanted to make sure we bought a nice one.
Yeah.
So that's the idea behind this one.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approval of Northwest Popcorn to use the football field for flag football games on Sunday, May 17th, 2026, from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Tom, second by Patty. Any comments, questions, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Approval to host golf outing fundraiser for Whiting High School Athletics at Sherwood Golf Course on Friday, June 5th, 2026.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Tom. Any comments, questions, concerns? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? There are no public comments on this, on the sheet.
Want to say something?
Do you mind if I just speak for a moment?
Yes. 3 minutes.
It'll take 1 minute. I'm DeFriesel, in case you don't know me. I'm the dual credit world history teacher at Whiting. I'm also the WTA union president. I just want to say that, with the financial crisis that's hitting Indiana public schools, in particular, hitting us hard at losing $290,000, I think I heard, due to the circuit breaker loss. I appreciate the efforts by the school board and the administration to use the money wisely, using leftover funds from the construction fund to, finance the, necessary improvements for the school, getting bond work necessary to help improve our school on the inside. As a teacher, I see it firsthand, and also, I appreciate the efforts by the superintendent with this payroll adjustment for this, because, showing leadership from the top, as we have to make, the state of Indiana forces us to make terrible decisions in order to make sure that we can continue to provide quality education. And, unfortunately, this is a situation where we've been put in, and we have to do what's best for our students, staff, and the school, and the community. And so, I just appreciate the work that you guys have been doing here to make sure that we stay fiscally responsible, given the situation that we're in, and all schools are in the state. So,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Patty. Any comments, questions, concerns about the meeting? Meeting adjourned.